Atlanta. We are on Facebook at Fox 5 Atlanta. Follow us also on X and Instagram, and subscribe to our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel. And join us again in just 1 hour for Fox 5 News at noon, followed by Porsha at 1. Hope you have a great Thursday, and we will see you again tomorrow morning.
Hey there, good Thursday morning, everyone, and welcome to Fox 5 on Fox Local. I'm Alex Whitler. Elise Eddy has the rest of the morning off. Thank you so much for being here, streaming with us, however you choose to do so, either on the Fox 5 Atlanta website. We're right there on the landing page. The free Fox Local app for your smartphones or smart TVs. We're also streaming live on the Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel, and that is the very piece of the puzzle here that I think makes this a news conversation. So if there is something that you see on here that resonates with you, something that you have more questions about, something you're concerned with, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment. I can see it in real time and react. Try to get some answers for you if you have any questions. That said, our top story is one that I think a lot of you have already heard about, but we're getting more details on. First of all, you know the Housewives, right, of Atlanta and Potomac? Well, they are making some major headlines these days, especially in the Atlanta area. So right now, former Real Housewives of Potomac star Mia Thornton is facing a judge for the first time. We've got one of our reporters, Eric Perry. He's in the courtroom listening to this case right now. We plan on touching base with him when he gets out of that hearing, but I still want to keep you guys abreast of what's happening and let you know what we know so far. So another one of our teammates, Fox 5's Tyler Fingert, obtained a police report showing officers were searching for Thornton, who recently moved to Atlanta, by the way, after she allegedly stole furniture from a furnished rental condo when she moved out. So that's going to be of note for those of you who watch that show, because you know that Mia is very outlandish. She loves decor, right? So according to the report, Thornton moved out of a condo on October 28th and took $11,000 worth of furniture. I'm looking at my notes here to make sure that I can tell you everything else she allegedly stole. It was a TV. The condo owner filed a report with police. They say that it was November 6th, saying that she moved out in the middle of the night without any notice. She was charged with larceny, and she was arrested at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. It seems like a lot of news has been coming out of our airport lately. She was booked into the Fulton County Jail yesterday. And you were looking at body camera footage of some of that booking. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of this. As soon as we hear word from Eric Perry that that hearing is wrapping up, we'll touch base with him and allow him to give us some more details there. But there is another situation that I want to keep you guys posted on involving Porsha Williams, a local who many of you know, respect, and love to see on social media and on the air. So essentially, she had some sort of hiccup at an airport as well, on a Delta Airlines flight. So you're looking at some new video that shows Porsha talking to authorities about what happened. It's essentially a she said situation here. There's another passenger who claims that her phone was loud. She asked her to lower it. And then that woman says that she, and I'm trying to directly quote her here, saw a fingernail come so close to her face and she felt threatened. Now, that video that you're seeing is Porsha telling her side of the story. She's saying, look, I didn't realize that I offended that woman. And then there's another witness, that man in the blue shirt there, who walks up as she's telling her side of the story, and he says she never put her hands on that other woman. So to put this in more formal terms here, the footage captures the moments that police responded to the gate, also at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, and witnesses in Williams said the confrontation started when another passenger on the flight to Las Vegas said that the volume on her phone was just too high. And again, that witness spoke with officers and backed up Williams' account. So that is something that has a lot of people talking online these days, because they recognize the airport, they recognize Porsha Williams, and they understand how people get so rowdy on planes these days. So we're going to keep you posted on what, if anything, becomes of that. But it was definitely news floating around our newsroom because she was apparently escorted out of the area by the FBI. So that's a big deal. We do have some other top stories for you, though. There's been an older woman who was scammed out of thousands of dollars. So give me a second to get my notes here to make sure I relay it correctly for you. But essentially, a 72-year-old woman was scammed out of $16,000 this week because fraudsters convinced her to withdraw money, and then they later sent someone to her home. That's the video that you're looking at right now, to go ahead and pick up the cash. So that's the doorbell video showing the suspected scammer leaving the woman's South Fulton house with a bag that police say was filled with the money. And it's the victim's daughter who's living with that area, living with the mother, says that she has a cognitive disorder, and she unknowingly connected with these scammers online through some sort of pop-up ad that claimed there was a serious security issue with her Delta Community Credit Union account. Really capitalizing on the fact that she is someone who probably had a lot of money in that account. South Fulton police are investigating, and they released an alert trying to get some information on the woman that was seen in the video. Now, Knight said the scammers told her mother to call a number, then stayed on the phone as she went to the bank, which is really bold here. We have a quote available to tell you exactly what she said on our website, fox5atlanta.com, but we're showing you this video just in case you recognize these people. You're, as always, encouraged to call authorities, and you can do so anonymously. Another big story that's making local headlines is about the Braselton police chief who's been arrested. So it was just announced that he retired, and I want to take a moment to pause. This is a 24/7 working newsroom, so you might hear some of our scanner traffic as we're trying to get some news for you. But back to this story. He announced that he retired, and then hours later, we found out that he was arrested. So here are the details. You're looking at Michael Steffman. He's 49 years old, and he was charged with a violation of oath by a public officer, stalking and harassing people. Essentially, the big takeaway here is he was using police tools, think license plate readers, to stalk people, to figure out where they were. So the GBI said the Jackson County Sheriff's Office asked the agency to look into allegations against Steffman, and according to the GBI, the investigation found he misused all of those recognition systems to stalk multiple people. So we're not just talking about one person here, we're talking about several different alleged victims. He was taken into custody, and he was booked into the Jackson County Jail. So we're going to keep you posted on any changes in that case. If he were to ever come forward and tell his side of the story, you can count on us to bring that to you. We've also got some really sad news to report this morning. A deadly wrong way crash. Would you look at this video? This happened on 285. This was just this morning in the eastbound lanes near Buford Highway. And according to Doraville police, a car started driving in the wrong direction up an exit ramp from Buford Highway to 285, struck another car, and then sent one of the cars continuing on its path, making its way onto the interstate and traveling in the wrong direction. You know how hard it is to swerve from someone if they cut you off in traffic going in the correct direction. So could you imagine what this must have been like for the person behind the wheel to see someone coming their way in the opposite direction? So it was at that point that the offending car crashed into another, and it resulted in a fire. So it was initially reported that one person in the offending car was dead on the scene, and 6 people were taken to a hospital. But police did just update our TV station that one of those people, who was a passenger in a van, also died. So we know at least 2 deaths here. This is awful news to report. The other passengers at last check, which is around 7 a.m., are still at the hospital. We're working to get an update on their condition. But Doraville police say that they expect to clear that situation if it hasn't cleared already. So it does appear that crash happened around 5 a.m. So if you are still traveling in that area, just be aware that there was a really gnarly crash that might still have some significant delays. Another big story that we're following was that explosion that happened at an apartment. Maybe you've seen some of the images from this, but we've got some new details about it. Apparently, this left one man hurt and destroyed an entire apartment building. If you're familiar with the Castleberry Hill area, you know that that's not far from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So property management at the Northside Plaza Apartments say that there was someone who was trying to steal copper from an empty unit. And it's essentially that tinkering around that ignited some sort of flame that led to an explosion. So one man did suffer some pretty bad burns, and at last check, he's in stable condition at Grady. Now, TMZ shared some video of him being treated at the scene. Firefighters were helping him out there, and a former service member driving by the scene saw the explosion and then rushed to help. That's a story that we're going to stay on top of, because if you're anything like me, you're wondering, what was it? We know that people have been stealing copper lately, trying to sell it, but what was it that they were doing? Were they in a supply closet, in an HVAC unit? What was it that they were doing that would have caused some sort of explosion? So if you've got questions like that as well, please don't hesitate to leave us a comment on our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel, where we're streaming live for you. We'd love to know your thoughts and just see what everyone else has to say about this. So there is another big story that we're following right now at the nation's capital. Dick Cheney's funeral is happening at the Washington National Cathedral. So we want to take a moment to take these moments in together. So let me first listen in, and then I'll give you some backstory on his life and legacy. Gosh, the Washington National Cathedral is gorgeous, is it not? You're taking a look at the live funeral services for former Vice President Dick Cheney, who was the 46th Vice President of our country. This music is beautiful. I almost want to whisper as I talk over it. The former vice president was 84 years old. His beloved wife of 61 years, Lynn, his daughters, Liz and Mary, and other family members were with him as he passed. We learned that it was of complications from his longtime health issues, not just of cardiac and vascular disease, but he also apparently had pneumonia. Sounds like they're showing all sorts of images here. If you look in your upper left-hand corner, we've got some for you. But past presidents and politicians from both parties will gather today to honor this key figure of what many consider pre-MAGA Republican politics. We know that former President Joe Biden is expected to be there. We know former President George W. Bush is expected to make remarks. But neither President Donald Trump nor Vice President J.D. Vance were invited to Cheney's funeral. This is all coming from a source who's familiar with the matter. But Cheney will receive full military honors at the memorial service, which is expected to be a bipartisan one. who's Washington dignitaries. So more than 1,000 guests are expected at this invitation-only funeral. You're looking at the choir. You saw that wide shot of the cathedral itself, which really only showed us a handful of people. If we're saying 1,000 people are going to be there, that's just some of them. Again, including all 4 living former vice presidents and 2 former presidents. So I mentioned those 2, George W. Bush and Joe Biden. They'll pay their respects, along with former vice presidents Kamala Harris, Mike Pence, Al Gore. There are also expected to be a number of Supreme Court justices, including Chief Justice John Roberts, Justices Brett Kavanaugh, and a large number of past and present cabinet members from both Republican and Democratic administrations. They'll also be there. So the Speaker Emeritus will be Nancy Pelosi, who many of you know just announced that she is set to retire. She's expected to be there along with Senate Majority Leader John Thune and former Leader Mitch McConnell. You see Joe Biden, former President Joe Biden, and former First Lady Dr. Jill Biden there. You can see George W. Bush. So many political figures in that front row if you're watching in real time. It's always amazing to see in these funeral services our country come together, especially as we've been so divided lately. It's always fascinating to see both sides of the aisle sit together on one pew, if you will. That was a beautiful end to that song. And I do want to keep you guys up to date on everything else that we are following. Doing a little time check for you. It is 11:15. As soon as we find out any other speakers during this funeral service, we'll be sure to come back to you. But I do want to let you guys know what else is coming up in this news conversation, as I like to call it, at 11:15. We've got to talk about a nasty problem here in the city of Atlanta. So it feels like your skin's been crawling lately. There might be some truth to it. Apparently, we've got a bed bug problem around here. You've heard of that in cities like New York and Chicago. We've got it too. We'll explain right after this. Hey everyone, welcome back to Fox 5 on Fox Local. I'm Alex Whitler, joined by Jonathan Stacy. Let's talk about this weather because two things of note here. It is very warm, but it's also very foggy. It looks like the kind of weather that we should be sipping apple cider in, but we're not doing anything like that.
Maybe the inside's just a bit too warm because outside is on the warm side. In fact, this morning it was perfect. The perfect recipe, not for apple cider or hot chocolate, but for fog. Visibility has obviously cleared up across much of the area. Read the lower part of the map, not the numbers. We're seeing much better outside. In fact, I went outside to get an apple cider. My throat decided to do something a little weird this morning. So
did you really? And it's just a coincidence that I said that?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
yeah. You know, they have these things called medicine balls at Starbucks, and it was very helpful to help me get through the remainder of the day. But 67 degrees here in Atlanta. Temperatures on either side of the 70-degree mark for most communities. At 70 from Covington to Rome. Elsewhere, you're coming close to 70 degrees. But what I want to show you here is we have a temperature in the mid-70s, air temperature, then we also have dew points in the mid-60s. So temperatures in the mid-60s, air temperatures, and dew points. That right there along is when you say we could have fog, and that's exactly what happened this morning. We basically had the moisture in the air. We also had, along with that moisture, a pretty warm temperature. So fog typically reminiscent of September, October mornings, some November mornings, but as you get deeper into the year, you don't really expect the fog to be that high because it's not really muggy outside at any point, and also it's not that warm. So we basically kind of had an anomaly or an odd start to the day with that batch of fog. So what is our source for moisture, if you will? Whereas this cold front, it came to town a couple days ago, and it said, okay, I just want to park over North Georgia. So it is resting in the way of a stationary front, meaning a cold front. It was on the move. It just stopped right there. And so basically we have systems that are hopping a ride along this front, and they're basically making an attempt to move through North Georgia. And they're going to bring one thing for sure, and that's clouds. The clouds endure through the remainder of the day into tomorrow. Maybe a bit of clearing before noon tomorrow, but the clouds come rushing back in, and that will precede what will be a pretty solid chance for rain as we get into the post-sunset hours to kick off the weekend. Look at this. This is overnight going into Saturday morning, so a damp start with some heavy downpours to kick off the weekend. By 9 o'clock, you still have some showers out there. Most of the action is to the north of I-20, and then the front still bothering us, but let's see if it can get some forward motion and move on out. I think it does. We'll be able to recover the second half of the weekend, and when I say the second half of the weekend, not just Sunday, but by Saturday afternoon, I'm thinking things are starting to look and feel better. The winds will pipe up a bit, but we're not looking at a crashing of the temperatures even as we get those winds coming in out of the north and the west. So here's how your weekend shakes out. Saturday, we will have rain and clouds. That will be the factor for the first part of the day. But as the day moves along, things will start to get better. You'll have some sunshine moving in, and temperatures will make their return to the 70s. When it's all said and done, we have another chance for rain that doesn't come Sunday, Monday, but Tuesday into Wednesday. It looks like the focus will be set across points to the north and to the west of the city, possibly getting up to 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall here in the metro area. And for points to the south, it looks like we'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of a ½ inch to 1 inch. So we're not looking at big time rain, but it could be inconveniencing rain, especially as we kick off the holiday travel period. So fog has dominated the forecast for the first part of the morning and to the afternoon. A few showers may want to graze the state line counties of North Carolina, Tennessee, across far north Georgia, but by and large, most of us are dry, just cloudy today. 77, we'll do it over again tomorrow. Temperatures, they're unbothered by all of this frontal action. They're standing strong, but I do see a dip off in the distant future. So as we get around Thanksgiving, and we're starting to see Thanksgiving pop up on some of our models here, it looks like things are going to take a slide.
Okay, and that's welcome news for those of you who like fall. Great.
That puts a wrap on it, period.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Indeed.
We appreciate it. At 11:22 this morning, we do want to talk about that very nasty situation here. Look at that bed bug crawling on the screen. Oh, my goodness. This is not one for the squeamish. So let's talk about the fact that Atlanta is apparently one of the worst cities in the country with bed bugs. Okay, so apparently Atlanta comes in near the very top at number 6. So as Thanksgiving travel ramps up, Terminix, an organization, says it's seeing a noticeable uptick in bed bug activity across major travel hubs, which only makes sense if you're familiar with how bed bugs work. They essentially stick on to to fabrics. So if you were to sit on a train bench and then sit on your couch or your bed, that's what can start the infestation. So joining me now to talk about it all is Terry Brooks, who is the branch manager. Welcome. Good to see you.
Hey, how you doing? I'm just here for the information that you guys are asking for.
Oh, absolutely.
Bed bugs is heavily trafficked during these holiday seasons. A lot of people has a misconception thinking that it's from filth, but it's not from filth. It's from highly trafficked areas, hotels, motels, daycares, and hospitals. So they feed off of blood. They transfer very easy.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So I first heard about bed bugs when I lived in this little city called Chicago, right? I remember when I was applying for apartments, they made you fill out a pamphlet saying you recognize that bed bugs are an issue in this city, and you're not going to think that it is the apartment itself that is dirty. So I want to just point out that I can't imagine that people are still thinking, oh my gosh, I'm just a dirty person. These bed bugs are just relentless.
Yeah, they travel through walls. They're just really looking for a warm place to stay. I recommend people, if they do traveling right now, to check their surroundings where they sleep, the bedding, the couches. Look at the corners for fecal. I see the picture y'all got there. That's what you want to be looking for. If that's there, if you want to be safe, pack your stuff up in bags and skedaddle back home, and then put everything straight to the wash and vacuum out your luggage.
Is it really that simple, just a simple wash? Because I feel like when people have these infestations, they can take over.
Well, what happens is people try to take care of it themselves, and by the time they do that, it's too late, and the infestation has spread to the point to where over-the-counter does not seem to do the trick, and you have to call your local pest company to take care of the issue.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm remembering correctly, just from the times that I've heard about bed bugs, it seems like they're attracted to the warmth of a human body, right? So when you're not sitting there on your couch, not sitting there on your bed, they're not out and about, they're not visible. But then you go to lay down, you take a nap, and they come out like in droves. What is that about?
Yes, they come out and they know it when you're asleep. They actually have, not to get too technical, but you will not feel it when they bite you. And when they do bite you, you will feel it that night. You'll start itching unbelievably, rashes, and there will be usually a cluster of bites in the general area or in a row. A lot of people think it's flea bite or ant bite, but when you start talking about it with the pest professional, it comes out to be, it's bed bug bites. There's no bite that compares to that. I'll just put it to you that way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've heard so much about this because you know that it's a big city issue, especially ones that have mass transit, right? I mentioned the train at the beginning of this segment, especially those that have some sort of cloth on them, right? You've seen a lot of public transportation change to just a plastic bench. So when you're traveling to your friends or your family's house for Thanksgiving, is it worth, immediately stripping out of those clothes and washing them, saying, hey, Mom, good to see you, but let me get rid of this first?
Well, if you're going over to Mom's house, you're hoping Mom's doesn't have a bed bug problem. You'd ask her, hey, are you having any issues with bed bugs, Mom? Because I don't want to spread it, because they do spread very easy from family to family, workplace. It's an insect that you can kill easily by squishing it, rolling over on the bed, but it's just so hard to contain it once it gets out of control.
Right, and that's what I'm getting at. Hopefully your mom doesn't have the bed bug issue, but you want to make sure that mom doesn't have the bed bug issue is what I'm getting at there. Yeah. So you don't give it to her.
Exactly. No, I'm in the business. I scrub up every time I come home when I do a bed bug inspection here in the Metro Atlanta. As you said earlier, we are heavily infested just for the fact that we have the busiest airport here in America. So we have to stay on top of it and educate the customer to what to do and what not to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Anything else on the what to do or what not to do list that I didn't ask you?
Really, the main things is just know your surroundings and be alert of where you are staying, whether it's a hotel, Airbnb. You want to be conscious of, okay, let me see the bedding, let me see the cording around the mattress. Does it have stains? Is there blood stains on the pillowcases and the corners? That's the type of things you want to look at the pictures that you had earlier on. That's what you really want to see. You can see the molting bodies of the bed bugs because they do molt, and you'll see a bunch of clear skin on the corners of the mattress. So that's what you really want to look at. And, of course, ask for another room. But if you just can't get another room, I'd highly suggest stripping it down and clean it up as best as possible, vacuuming it up.
Yeah. It's so gross. I know that I've already said that, and I've already emphasized it. I'm just going to underline it again. The fact that you were talking about a bug's shell casing of their body being a hint that you have bed bugs, that's just the stuff of nightmares.
Yes, that is the worst nightmare anybody can imagine, especially with the bite marks that the customer that they have. I can't explain to you how bad that itch is. It's 100 times worse than the mosquito bite.
Ooh, yeah, okay. You've convinced us. We're going to do everything we can.
Yeah.
To make this not a problem. Hey, if you guys are watching and you've had bed bugs before, if you feel like sharing your business, let us know in the comments on our Fox 5 Atlanta YouTube channel, because it sounds like this is something that a lot of people have experienced and don't want to experience ever again. Yeah. Terry, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good day.
You as well. Well, we hope you all will stick around because we have plenty more to discuss. Just listen to some of the top stories. We've got the latest on the Epstein files. An Olympian is wanted for essentially being a modern-day Pablo Escobar. We've got a famous actor who now says he's homeless, and a metal giants Metallica are helping out local labor students. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, to Fox 5 on Fox Local. We are keeping you up to date on some national headlines here. We'll start with this one. You've probably heard about the Epstein files. Well, here's the latest. So essentially here, President Trump has signed the bill forcing the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files, and now we've just got to wait. The Attorney General now has 30 days to comply. She says she'll allow herself to follow the law, but might not release everything. So the reason why is because there are still some ongoing investigations. Democrats promise to keep pressing for the full release, but I've got to tell you that there's really another bit of finger pointing from across both sides of the aisle. So Vice President Kamala Harris has started weighing in as Republicans say Democrats sat on the files for years. They keep pointing out that the Biden administration could have released them just as the Trump administration could have without this intervention from Congress. We're going to keep you posted. As soon as we do get our eyes on any of those documents, we'll be sure to release them to you all. We know many of you have questions about it. Our next story is a wild one. Some of you might recognize this name, Ryan Wedding. He's a former Olympic snowboarder for Canada, and he's wanted for running a multinational drug trafficking network. He now faces additional charges in connection with the killing of a federal witness. Attorney General Pam Bondi released all this information just yesterday. There are 10 other defendants who you're looking at on your screen who've been arrested on charges in this federal indictment. It was unsealed in California and accuses Wedding of orchestrating this January killing of the witness in Colombia to help him avoid extradition to the U.S. This sounds like something straight out of a movie, doesn't it? Authorities are now offering up to $15 million for information leading to his arrest. And he's on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. What a turnaround to go from Olympian to one of the most wanted people in our country. He's believed to be living in Mexico under the protection of the Sinaloa cartel. And authorities say he's working closely with them to funnel massive amounts of drugs into not just our country, but also the country he competed for, Canada. Well, Kevin Spacey says he's homeless. That's a story that I'm sure many of you did not expect to hear. He says he's faced legal costs and little work in the wake of the sexual misconduct allegations against him. I'm going to quote him for you. He says, "I'm living in hotels. I'm living in Airbnbs." The two-time Oscar winner said in an interview with the UK's Telegraph that was published just yesterday. He says he's going where the work is, literally. He says that's what he's trying to explain. He's trying to make that clear to people that these legal bouts have really played a role in his life. The actor said his home, which had been in the Baltimore area, was auctioned off amid an overall not great financial picture. So since 2017, the American Beauty and House of Cards star has been accused of sexual misconduct for more than a dozen men, and he's denied the allegations. He was found not guilty in a 2023 case in London in which 4 men said he sexually assaulted them between 2001 and 2013. He was also found not liable in a 2022 civil lawsuit that was brought by an actor. You might have heard this name, Anthony Rapp. He claimed back in 1986, when he was just 14, Spacey, who was 26, molested him. Really significant allegations there. We're also just now getting our eyes on the September jobs report. It's been long awaited here. They added, apparently, the Department of Labor, 119,000 jobs in that month of September, above economist estimates. The unemployment rate rose to 4.4% in September, which was higher than economists expected. So originally scheduled for release more than a month ago, on October 3rd, the September jobs report was delayed by about 6 weeks because of that 43-day government shutdown. It affected just about everything. It did furlough workers at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, who are responsible for compiling that report. So now we know. It'll be interesting to see what comes of the October jobs report. Well, now we want to talk about a really cool story here. So we're turning the page to Carrollton. And if you didn't get the pun, some lucky students are getting scholarship money from Metallica. Yes, like the metal group. Chris Rosenthal is here. He is riding the lighting. Hey, good to see you.
I am riding the lightning with the electrical students, and the welding students are definitely into the heavy metal here at West Georgia Technical College. Yeah, you know, we've talked about skilled labor. You know, there being shortage in skilled labor jobs like welding, jobs like electrical, carpentry, all those sorts of jobs. And Metallica, the rock band, we all know who they are, actually has a foundation, all within my hands, to donate money and donate scholarships to schools across the country, 75 schools, and West Georgia Technical College is the only school in Georgia to get those funds. So I'm here with Alan Threadgill. He is with West Georgia Technical College, and his Metallica shirt. Not that often you get to see your college professors and administrators wearing a concert shirt, but tell me a little bit about this. What you know, how did this come to be?
So we applied for a grant with the foundation, all within my hands, through Metallica, and we were accepted. They gave us last year about $75,000 for internships and to provide tools for these students to get out into the workforce quickly. It breaks down these barriers to allow them to, you know, take a tool set that's worth approximately $500 that they might not have the money for, and have that to be able to get out into the workforce. So this year, those sponsors that we had last year, those industry partners, are coming back with us. They're picking up the bill for that, and our funding went down a little bit to $50,000, but we're still able to provide tools, and now we've got 12 internships this year. So we're able to expand that, spread it out, but then keep that funding going through these great industry partners that we have.
What does that mean for their education?
It means a lot, because we can teach them a lot here in this lab, but they get that hands-on experience, and that's invaluable. So they're going to the workforce and being able to do this repetitively over and over and over that we don't have the time or the funds for, but yet they're having a lot of questions that they bring back into the lab, and we can answer those questions. So it's really a great way for them to really excel and gain that knowledge that's needed.
We got some of these tools that's made. We got some of these tools that's made possible by this grant here. Let's just show what we got here.
So they've got everything in here for the electrical side of things. They've got their PPE, they've got their all their different electrical tools and safety equipment that they would need to be able to get out there and do the job that's needed. For the welding students, we have the same setup where they have a kit with PPE. They've got grinders and levels and different things that they would need to be able to do the jobs that they're out.
And these are, I mean, these are about $500 or so. This is something that's a lot of money for a student, and that's something that really can really helps them get started, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, again, it helps break those barriers down. It helps them to feel, one, safe and have the quality tools that they need. Every company that you would go to is going to require you to have basically all these tools, and you know, it's some quality stuff that they've got lifetime warranty on that they should be able to have for a very long time to come.
Now, Metallica won't be here, but a little bit later, these students will be honored here, and it's kind of a cool format you have going on. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, what Metallica will see is that we will do a profile on every single one of these students. It'll tell their story, it'll tell how it's helping them, and it will go to the foundation and then eventually to Metallica. So it's something that they look at, they read these stories, and it may be featured on their website at some point.
Yeah. And they get kind of like a signing day experience here today, huh?
Yeah, that's right. So we want to celebrate these students because they went through a rigorous process of interviewing, and they were selected as the best of the best. So we want to celebrate that. We want to showcase them and let everybody out there know how fantastic job that they're doing.
I got one of these students here. This is Ace, and you've been honored. You can come up a little bit here, Ace, and you've been honored here. What does this mean to have, big band like Metallica come here and honor you guys and give a scholarship here?
Honestly, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, to think that Metallica would be giving back to such a community like this, I really wouldn't have these kind of tools. I wouldn't have the funds. I wouldn't have the opportunities that these open for me. The jobs that I'm going to be going to, especially the scholarship opportunity with Southway that I'm going to, I'm going to be able to use these tools every day and on the job. It's going to like dramatically change how I work and the things that are available to me.
This will really help get you off to a good start, huh?
Yeah. I'm actually a single mother of 2 kids, and funds are really just not something I have. So this is amazing for me.
Absolutely, and I think that's kind of what a lot of the students say, huh? It means a lot to them for sure, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Ace is an incredible story, and we've got so many others just like her, and they're, they may be young kids that are going out into the workforce. They may be changing a career, and so it's really impactful. It means a whole lot for all the students and for us to be able to support them like this.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to that. This will be this afternoon. These chairs will be filled up, and those students will be at this table, being honored in this sort of signing day experience that they're going to have.
Wow. That is beautiful, and to hear someone firsthand explain how this is going to help not just one person, but their 2 kids, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Chris. We appreciate it, and thank you for catching the puns that we were trying to throw your way. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll see you next time, Chris. Hopefully you guys will stick around because we still need to talk about holiday shopping. We've got some hot holiday toys, how you can save money on them, and more when you join us right after this. You guys, Thanksgiving is next week. Christmas is next month. That means we need to start thinking about buying our presents, and we know you don't want to break the bank. So lifestyle and parenting expert Amanda Mushrow joins us now with some hot holiday toys. She's going to tell us what's affordable and how to make the whole thing work for us. So good to see you. You got some fun stuff right there in front of you already.
Yep, we are hopping right over Thanksgiving, but we're going to save money and just start ticking away at that holiday shopping list for the kiddos in our lives.
Oh, yeah. You got some good stuff in front of you. So let's start with the plush toys. Those just seem to be a timeless classic. What do you make of them?
Yeah, always a hit is the plush. Here's one that's really fun. This is a Flipkin, and the Flipkin, this is from Wild Republic. So not only are they super cute and they're made from eco-friendly material, but they're weighted on the bottom. I'm a little nervous to throw it on this table because it might fall off, but when you flip them, they always land on their bottoms. So my 6-year-old is always flipping his water bottle. So I gave him a Flipkin, and he was obsessed. So every time you toss them, they'll end up on their bottom. It's a plushie and a toy they can toss. It's like a win-win all over.
Oh my gosh. I don't have kids, but I do date men who can sometimes act like children, and they always are flipping the water bottles. What is genius.
Yeah, what is that? But then they have a cute little, like a little axolotl or a little fox, and they can flip it. So,
smart.
It's adorable, it's cute, and it's under $11. So I love it.
Oh, easy. Okay, so we know the holidays are all about family time. So do you have any affordable games for game night when you're trying to get everybody involved?
Yes, this is a really fun one. This is called Dice Words. Really quick, easy to play. You're going to have the different letters on the cube. You shake it up and you try to make different words. This is one that young kids are going to like, that the parents and grandparents are going to want to jump into and play. It's so fun, quick and easy. And I love that it comes in this little bag. So all the supplies for the game go right in there and you're good to go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that almost looks like the typical word games, right? Your Scrabble, etc., or the ones on the app. It's like they all have that same look, the letter and then the small number.
Exactly. So it's a great one that adults are going to love, because I will tell you, I have 3 kids. So when they pull out a game and I'm like, oh no, not that one. But when they pull out this, I'm like, yeah, heck yeah, Mom will play this with you.
Yeah, that looks like fun. And it's a lot faster, I imagine, than Monopoly, right?
Yes. There's no 2-hour games. We can play quick and easy, easy to set up and easy to clean up.
Perfect. Okay, what other budget-friendly ideas do you have for some of the little ones that we might be shopping for?
All right, this is a cute one. This is the Intro to Food Prep Set. This is by Boone, and it comes with these cute little devices that kids can cook with you, this little measuring cup. This one is really cute because you move the little band, and that's how you measure what you're pouring in, and it lets kids get in and really cook with you. It's so fun. I really love this one, and you can put it all in the dishwasher, which makes it so easy to clean up.
Oh, yeah. Dishwasher is music to so many people's ears. Nobody wants to hand wash anything or worry about it melting when you take it out. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So there are always a few toys each year that make parents say, I wish I had that when I was growing up. Do you have any of those on your list?
Yeah, I have 2 of those. If you have Dungeons and Dragons fans in your family, it's a game that's been around for 50 years. This is the Dungeons and Dragons Orb of Possibility, and it is a way to battery operate your dice, and it makes it's just a way to elevate your game. So it's something that a lot of different generations are playing together. So if you have a D&D fan, you definitely want to check that out. Also, from Abacus, this is the ESPN virtual reality. This is so cool. 360-degree views of games, football, basketball, skateboard, soccer, you name it. If you have a sports fanatic, they're going to love it. And it comes with the goggles. You don't have to use the goggles. You can just dive into the book and use the app that comes with it. So much fun. I really love this one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so my eyes are just going right toward that ESPN setup. I've tried really hard not to ask about that first. So let's jump into that one. What's that about?
Yes, this is our Abacus ESPN virtual reality. This is the one that I was saying that gives you that 360-degree view of every game you could imagine. So if you have that kid who knows all the sports stats, they're a huge sports fan, they are going to love this. They can learn more about the games, play right along from football, basketball, snowboarding. And here's what's really cool. It is under $40. So it's a great price point. You can use the goggles, the virtual reality goggles that come with it, or just use the app and the book. Really fun one for your sports fans.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Very fun.
I almost wish I saved that for last, just so we could keep looking at those images. What in the world?
Isn't that amazing?
I love it. It really is. And for $40, you can't beat that.
No, not at all. And it's really one of those, again, that kids are going to love, but also adults. So if you have an adult on your list that's sports fanatic, I think they're going to love it just as much. And this VR technology is amazing. I mean, to be able to have this 360-degree view, it's wild.
Mm-hmm. My brother has a virtual reality set. I remember we got it for him for Christmas. maybe 2-3 years ago. And when I tell you that thing was perched on his head for weeks, it's like it never left his body.
Yeah, so, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Be forewarned, though, if you do buy it for your kids, you might have to literally pull them out of their own little world. Yeah.
Right. We might not see them until New Year's. They might just hide away.
Yeah. Okay, so kids also love slime and squishy things. Anything like that?
Yes. All right. My kids love slime. I don't really love pulling slime out of like a rug or my couch, you know, so, but they still love that texture and that sensory play. So this is Dr. Squish. It is this squishy maker, and you can make your own squishies. So it comes with everything you need, and you can add some color to it, then these like glittery, shaky little things inside. It has great tutorials on YouTube. So it's really, really fun for kids to make their own squishies. I also like that it has extra kits. So if they make all the squishies, you can keep buying more of the materials. So it's still that fun sensory play without the mess of slime.
Yeah. You know, you probably remember slime as a kid, right? There's something about it that's just so attractive as a child, because you don't have to clean it up, so you think, right? That's
sure.
The mindset.
So you play with it.
Yeah, and then you just leave it, and it corrodes over. Ugh.
Exactly. But this, you still get that fun sensory feeling and play without the mess.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Here in Atlanta, we've got this thing called Sloo-Moo, where the kids go and they learn about slime and how to make their own, feed it, all these organisms. It's like a whole science project. So I feel like this will be a good way of having that at home.
Yes, and they can make something on their own. They can get creative, and you can really personalize it. You can pick different colors based on, you can add a little water-based paint to change the color. I mean, I think it's so cute too. When my kids were making this, they were like, I want to give this to my friend. I think it's cute too, the idea of like making it and giving it as a gift as well.
Yeah, that is a cute idea. All of the ideas were cute. Every single one was memorable. Thank you so much, Amanda, for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I have a feeling we'll have you back again soon. We do, though, have some harder news to talk with you all about. With just a few minutes left in this news conversation, I just want to point out that right now, the House Foreign Affairs Committee is holding a hearing on President Trump's redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. So we will get into that in a bit. But let me touch base with the producer who's talking with me right here. Do we have Eli Jordan ready for us? Great. We've got Eli. Let's go ahead and talk with him about
Hey, Sabrina.
Hey, Eli, can you hear me?
Hey, guys. How's it? I sure can. It came to me a little bit earlier than I was expected, but I want to tell you what's going on out here on Cheshire Bridge Road. The Atlanta Housing Authority, they are making warm dinners for the people here at the Cheshire Bridge High Rise. And seniors here, about 80 to 90 seniors are out here getting some food from courtesy of the Atlanta Housing Authority. And even Housing Commissioner Tony Martin is here. He's whipping up some dishes for everybody, and a lot of other Atlanta Housing Authority employees are out here, and a lot of seniors out here waiting for a good time and some good foods. And DJ King Famous is here playing some music. And I am here with Sabrina Robbs. She is the community engagement organizer. Sabrina, how are you doing today?
I'm great.
So tell me, what else is going on today?
So today we have our annual Thanksgiving luncheon hosted by Atlanta Housing. And the residents are all here joining each other, gathering, giving thanks, and then just joining a good meal.
And tell me why it's important to have, do something like this for the residents here.
Absolutely. So a lot of the residents don't have family, so we're all family. You know, being here day to day, the residents being here day to day, we're all family. So it's a time for them to rejoice, give thanks, greet each other, have fellowship, and then just enjoy a good time.
And also, too, there's a two-part fold of this. The Cheshire Bridge High Rise is 50 years old this year, right?
Absolutely. So we're also celebrating 50 years. Cheshire Bridge has been established for 50 years, so we are also in celebration of that as well. well.
It's
Just
beautiful.
tell me,
I
what
hate
does
to cut
Cheshire
you
Bridge
guys
High Rise
off,
provide?
but we do have
We provide
another
services for the
newscast
residents,
coming up.
housing, affordable
Not sure if you're
housing,
able to hear me,
and
Eli.
resources so that they can help them with their everyday needs.
Awesome. Well, Sabrina, thank you very much. And that's what's going on out here, Alex. And I'll let you get back to whatever news we got going on. But seniors here in the Housing Authority in Cheshire High Rise are
It looks like a
serving
party
up some
out
food
there.
today.
Thank you so much, Eli. We appreciate it. And we appreciate you for spending some time with us here for the 11 a.m. stream. Stick around because here comes the news at noon.
A former reality star faced a tough reality of the Fulton County Jail when she woke up behind bars today. What she's accused of doing that landed her in cuffs. And a South Fulton woman loses tens of thousands of dollars after scammers send a pickup driver to her home.
And the clouds are hanging low all across the area, but the temperatures are still rising.